Tonight on SUTV News,
Shippensburg is doing its part in celebrating women and Women's History Month.
All that and more right now. Thanks for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Ian Fitzgerald.
And I'm Zach Salzgiver. The Women's Center is doing its part to make all feel a part in the form of 3 new discussion groups. Redefining Manhood discusses the difficulties or struggles men face. The LGBTQ meeting is a place to socialize about your daily life at Shippensburg, and women of color can discuss their experiences at Shippensburg as well.
A really big component of inclusion is visibility, and so making sure that students know that there are spaces on campus where they feel welcomed, where they're supported, and where they're encouraged to celebrate their identities.
Manhood meets every Monday at 4, LGBTQ meets every Thursday at 5, and Women Helping Women meets every Sunday at 7. All meetings are held in the Horton Hall, room 135. The newest exhibit at the Fashion Archives features clothing from international designers and photography by local talent. Through the lens of the beholder, the fine art of dress displays men's and women's fashion of the 19th and 20th century. Photography by SU students, faculty, and community members are featured, presenting an interpretive view of the piece.
That I like to point out to people is when they look at the old clothes, this is the only way you're going to get in touch with your own ancestors in 3D.
The exhibit opens tomorrow at 1 and will be displayed until early December.
The celebration of Women's History Month continues on campus with political operative Jessica Bird. Bird is speaking in the Cub NPR in an effort to spread awareness about women's rights issues in politics.
How to be engaged, how to be an activist and how to be engaged in the political system, which I think is really important because we're all going to be voters. We should all be voters, but the most important part is just that we need to become aware of what's happening in the political arena.
The Women's Center's next event will be Take Back the Night on April 4th. Pennsylvania's Physician General Dr. Rachel Levine is coming to Shippensburg March 27th. She is discussing issues affecting the LGBTQ community, as well as sharing her journey as a transgender becoming the Physician General.
So when she's going to be coming and talking, and it's going to hopefully convey to the students, she's just like everyone else. It's just, a little tiny bit different beforehand. But she also is going to be talking about the struggles that people have, the LGBT have, especially in Pennsylvania, dealing with, people who do have those misconceptions and negative opinions about what it means to be someone of a different sexuality.
The event will be held at Old Main Chapel at 5 and is open to anyone interested.
The Women's Center hosted the LunaFest Film Festival this past week. The film festival features movies made by and about women. LunaFest is meant to stimulate conversation among people and travels all across the country. Proceeds from the event benefit the National Breast Cancer Fund. As if you needed more of a reason to cuddle your furry friends.
When we come back, we'll tell you about the holiday that's taking the world by storm. The people of Peru are in mourning after a natural disaster takes multiple lives.
Here's Marshall Keeley with the World News.
An attack at the Parliament building in London left 5 people dead and more than 40 wounded. The attacker, identified as Khalid Massoud, ran over a group of pedestrians with his car on Parliament grounds. Massoud then stabbed and killed a police officer while being detained. ISIS claims responsibility, but investigators haven't confirmed their involvement. At least 72 people have died as the result of a mudslide in Peru. The Peruvian government confirmed more than 60,000 people have been displaced from their homes. Cities near Lima are in a state of emergency. The mudslide follows weeks of storms and rain. A massive wildfire in Florida destroyed at least 10 homes. The blaze ripped through Nassau County after a man was burning books. Firefighters are still working to put out the fire. And what a sublime time to adopt a canine. Today is National Puppy Day. The holiday is aimed at educating people about the horrors of puppy mills across the country while promoting animal shelter adoptions. National Puppy Day is now considered an international holiday, trending worldwide on Twitter every year from 2012 to 2015. That's it for this week's World News. I'm Marshall Keeling. Let's head back to the desk.
When we come back after this short break, the Slate Preview is in action.
Here's Jamison Barker with this week's Slate Preview.
I hope everyone's spring break was great, but now it's back to the grind. This week, check out our coverage of the Zombies performance at Lourdes, LunaFest, and the bridge going in at Fogelsonger Road. We'll also recap the lacrosse team's week and give our perspective on climate change. Pick up the Slate Tuesday around campus, and as always, check us out anytime at theslateonline.com.
When we come back in entertainment,
a long-running kids' TV show adds a special new character.
All that and more after the break. Just last week we had over a foot of snow, but it looks like warmer weather's on the way.
Yeah, Zach, hopefully after this weekend we'll have shorts and t-shirt weather for the rest of the semester. We'll send it to Katie with the weather.
It seems like the winter weather might finally be coming to an end. Let's take a look at this week's forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy and a low of 33. Tomorrow, a high of 61 with morning showers followed by a cloudy afternoon. In the 5-day, Saturday, we are finally getting a taste of spring. Cloudy skies with a high of 73. Sunday, high of 56 and a low of 47 with PM showers. Monday, partly cloudy and a high of 65. Tuesday and Wednesday, partly cloudy skies with highs in the mid-60s and lows in the mid-40s. Have a great weekend. As always, go Raiders.
The weather may be a little dull, but our entertainment segment is full of fun. I'm Marina Barnett. Let's get started. Divas, a women empowerment group on campus, is presenting It's a Women's World. The group is also celebrating 10 years of Diva along with its event this weekend.
We just pretty much try to keep our ladies here because a lot of times when you leave home, you face a lot of issues, especially if you're like me, coming from a city where you went to a high school that's predominantly black, and you come here and it's like you feel kind of out of place, and so it gives you a place to be.
If you missed the first event that happened today, don't worry, we got you covered. To see a list of all the events, head to SUTVnews.com keyword divas. There's a new kid on Sesame Street. Julia is Sesame Street's first character with autism. Her appearance in storybooks was so popular, producers decided to add her to the show. Her debut episode will focus on educating viewers about the different challenges of having autism. Julia's episode will air April 10th on HBO. No need to tiptoe through the spring tulips, you can actually dance. The Lourdes Performing Arts Center is offering spring ballroom dance lessons. The classes have already started and go until April 24th. Singles and couples are welcome to the classes. The 6-class course is $35 per person. The beginner's class starts at 5:30 for the tango, cha-cha, swing, and foxtrot instruction. The advanced class starts at 6:30, teaching the mambo, two-step, waltz, and rumba. King Kong is back in theaters in Kong Skull Island. Ray Shungle reviews.
Kong Skull Island sees scientists and soldiers coming together at the end of the Vietnam War to explore an uncharted island in the Pacific. Skull Island wastes no time introducing Kong himself, with loads of brutal monster action and falling helicopters. A stellar cast of characters starring Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, John C. Reilly, and Samuel L. Jackson turn out fine performances. Organizing the expedition is Bill Randa, starring John Goodman, who is desperate to prove giant monsters exist.
This island is notorious for the number of ships and planes that have gone missing. The 1954 nuclear tests weren't tests. They were trying to kill something.
Fights involving Kong, the U.S. military, and the other monsters on Skull Island consistently impress. However, spotty pacing and meager character development don't work in Skull Island's favor. Despite being a satisfying return of Kong, as it stands, Skull Island is a mixed bag, earning 3 out of 5 stars. For SUTV Entertainment, I'm Ray Shungle.
Skull Island had a strong opening at $61 million, but couldn't top the earnings from Logan and the horror film Get Out. Tomorrow's your chance to see blockbuster Beauty and the Beast at Carlisle Theater. Tickets are $5 and $2 of the proceeds go to SHIP's Minithon. Next week, comedian Jen Kober brings laughs to Shippensburg. Check her out next Thursday. And if you're planning ahead, APB is hosting a whitewater rafting trip in April. Tickets are on sale now. Well, that's it for tonight's entertainment. Back to the desk.
When we come back in sports, we have a recap of SHIP's successful basketball teams.
And find out which players were named to the Atlantic Region First Team.
The football team kicked off spring practice this week. Players are vying for starting positions and looking to correct mistakes from last season. Coach Mack uses spring practice to lay a foundation for the 2017 football season.
We approach it just like the season, and you know, that's how we run our practices, that's how we conduct our drills, things like that. So we want to see young men compete, play with passion, and have a little fun playing the greatest game ever.
Spring practice wraps with the annual Red-White Spring Game on April 15th at Seth Grove Stadium. SUTV will have live coverage of the game and the day's events. Kickoff is at 11. It was a successful season for SHIP Roundball for both the men's and women's teams, and the individual accolades are rolling in too. Logan Funk has the story.
The women's basketball team earned its 5th 20-win season under head coach Christy Turn, including the first PSAC East title.
When I look at where they've come over the 4 and 5 years of their career, I'm very proud of the efforts that we put forth. And we were big on setting goals prior to every season, and this season they pretty much checked off every goal that they set for themselves. To be able to go through their division schedule undefeated, to be able to host the conference tournament here at home, and then certainly qualify for the NCAA tournament says a lot about how they've developed over the years and the amount of work that they've put in.
Graduate student Stephanie Nauer finished her career being named CCA All-Atlantic Region Women's Basketball First Team and took honorable mention in WBCA Division II All-American Team.
From last year, I was so discouraged from my injury, and knowing how much hard work I had to put in over the summer, which took a lot, coming back and then getting those awards, it meant more than anyone could ever know.
The men's team finished its record-breaking season dropping a close decision to Wheeling Jesuit 97-91 in the NCAA Championship semis. Junior Dustin Sleva earned multiple awards including NABC Atlantic All-District First Team, PSAC East Athlete of the Year, and CCA All-Region First Team, all while breaking Shippensburg's past record for points in a season. Chris Feit was named NABC Atlantic District Coach of the Year and already is focused on next season.
We've started to meet with our guys and discussing next year and our preparation, and everyone's really, we're proud of what we accomplished, but there's a feeling of a little bit of disappointment that we didn't go further this year because we felt we were good enough. And so I think that'll be the motivation going into the off season, is that we've got a lot of guys returning, and we know what it takes to get there, and so we're hoping to get back and take it a step further next year.
For SUTV Sports, I'm Logan Funk.
Both basketball teams have made statewide history for SHIP athletics this year. Wrestler Evan Ramos was named All-American at the NCAA Division II National Championships. Ramos made it to the semifinals before dropping 2 matches and placing 5th, cementing his All-American status. Ramos ended the season with a record of 27-4. Discs will be flying this weekend as SHIP hosts an Ultimate Frisbee tournament. The Shippensburg University Scapegoats host the annual Steak Fest this weekend. 16 teams from the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast will compete.
On Saturday, the games will be played up at Rob's Sports Complex and down on the rec fields. On Sunday, we'll be playing at the football stadium and also on the rec fields.
The winning team will get a steak dinner cooked personally by the Scapegoats on the rec fields. Games begin on Saturday at 10 and will run to about 5. You can see who is playing and where, and track scores by going to usaultimate.org and searching keyword SteakFest.
That's it for SUTV News. I'm Ian Fitzgerald.
And I'm Zach Salzgiver. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram at SUTV News, and check out our website, sutvnews.com.
We'll see you next time.